Okay. Good morning.
Okay, good morning again, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning for SLT. Ms. Dambowski has dropped the attendance in the chat, so please ensure that you sign in for the day so that we can count your attendance and the house points for the students. So Ms. Dambowski is going to share the agenda, and then we're going to get started for this morning's meeting. So to start, I'm going to have Ms. Dambowski read the meeting minutes from the previous meetings, so I'm going to mute myself.
Good morning. Our last SLT meeting occurred March 20th. Okay. The UFT meetings update from March 20th is that federal government is considering eliminating Title VI, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and activities receiving federal funding assistance, which could lead to dismantle of the DOE. A student cell phone ban is being proposed for all schools. PS 140 updates is that the statewide exam is 18 days away and it will be fully digital for students in grades 3 to 5. Third grade, fourth grade, and fifth grade are taking the ELA and math state exam, and the fifth grade is taking the additional science exam. Ms. Dambowski will be providing targeted small group support or sprints for grades 3 to 5 in ELA and math for 1 period daily. This intervention began on March 18th and will continue until state testing begins. The state testing window runs from April 22nd to May 16th. The school survey is due by March 4th. This survey helps identify community priorities and impacts the school funding. Based on last year's responses, parents expressed a desire for more activities which were successfully incorporated this year via field trips and Kids in the Game. The Scholastic Book Fair generated over $3,000 in sale, which beat our previous record. As a result, we earned more than $2,000 in Scholastic dollars, which will be used to purchase additional books for our classroom libraries. And that is all the minutes from March 20th.
Thank you so much, Ms. Dambowski. Okay, so we're going to go straight into our PTA update. PTA president.
Hi, good morning, everyone. There's not really much to report because we still have to set up a meeting, which is kind of late in the year now, to kind of set up an executive board meeting with administration so we can move forward with activities. So now we're just moving forward with trying to get a nomination committee together to have elections for next year. And our next PTA meeting will be when we come back from the break. It will be, just looking at the date, it's the 22nd. So it'll be April 22nd will be the next PTA date. And that's it for my report.
Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to move straight into the UFT report. Ms. Moore. Okay, Ms. Moore may be en route, so she may have I think she might be stepping into the office. So what we'll do is we're going to flip it. We're going to shift the UFT report for after the 140 report because I know she was on. She may be transitioning into the building. So for PS 140 update, we are in the season of updating our CEP. So I do want everyone to be able to see it. So Ms. Dambowski, if you could just pull up our CEP. Okay, so the CEP is the Comprehensive Educational Plan, and it is something that we submit and work on every year. So the purpose of the SLT is the SLT works with administration and with parents, with teachers to create our CEP goals for this upcoming school year. And it falls under 4 pockets of priority. So priority 1 is all students learn to read well. So we create a goal based on data that we have acquired within the school based on how, bless you, how students are performing on their iReady reports or their Acadians or their MAP. So we create goals based on those priorities to show as a school, how are we going to move towards ensuring that we accomplish those goals and our students are moving. Priority 2, all students are physically and emotionally safe. So that connects to SEL, and we look at the number of incidents that we have had in the building and how it connects to next steps. So for example, we were looking at, when we were creating this year's goal, we were looking at some of the zones that we do have some incidents, and we noticed recess was an area. So we brought in Kids in the Game, which is a program that provides structured play, and they work with our students during recess and then for an additional period. So that was impactful based on things that our SLT wanted, our students saw, as well as the administrative staff, and we're able to put those things in place. Priority 3, all students have a high quality academic experience. Priority 4 is all students graduate college in a career ready and have a strong plan and pathway to economic security. So thinking ahead and thinking about things that we're going to put in place to ensure that our students are successful as they move from elementary school to middle school to high school to the real world and having their own career. Priority 5 is all district and schools are more inclusive and responsive to parents, families, including having more family choose in New York City public schools. So the reason why we complete the CEP with the SLT is it's very impactful of parent voice and choice and thinking about things that you want to put in place and have in place here at Ellington Magnet that could really support our students. There is a section that SLT is required to complete. So that is going to be something that we are going to open up for our next meeting, that we're going to include working together to unpack some of the voices and choices that we want as a SLT that's reflective in our CEP. It also highlights absentees. It highlights students with IEPs, looking at parent and family engagement and things that we want as a school community. We look at our Title I program information and thinking ahead to see what are some things that worked for us this year as a school community and what are some things that we want to change or improve on. Our CEP is public. All CEPs in New York City public schools are public information that we share with the public. So you can log on to see it. It is a very lengthy document. Ms. Amboski, if you could just click through it. We could make it bigger so we could read it. So she's just going to scroll down and I'll just talk through it. It is a very lengthy document. So the first part about it highlights information about our school. I think you could just use the arrows and go from page to page on the side. No, there you go, right? So it's our school information. Then it goes into our district information. Then this is the SLT and stakeholder signature page because the SLT works together. So if you can go back to that page. So you'll see last year, no, thank you. You'll see last year the team members that worked together to create the CEP. So these are things that we are going to look at our next meeting to just have voice and choice of teachers, administrators, and our parents as we create our goals for next school year. Okay, you can keep clicking. Just keep clicking through our school summary. Just click through. Yes. So the school summary highlights types of programs that we have, and then it goes into the priorities and then our SMART goals, right? So stop right there. So one of our SMART goals was by June 2025, literacy for all students will improve as measured by a 12% increase from 38 to 50% of students moving one or more levels towards grade level. You just made it smaller, Ms. Dambolsky, and I cannot read it anymore.
Struggling here.
Okay, so this is an example of a goal that we have for this year, and how we measure it is we're looking at our iReady and Acadian. So what we're going to do at our next meeting is we're going to look at where our students are currently, and we're going to determine what our goal for next year is going to be. So for example, we progress monitor these goals every few months, and we're on track to accomplishing this goal by June 2025. If there is a goal that we've noticed that we may not be able to accomplish, we really reflect on it as a school community to see how we're going to put things in place to ensure that we're meeting it, or we have to modify it for the next school year. So she's just going to scroll through it. It is a very lengthy document that highlights all the priorities and how it's connected to things that we want within our school to create for our students, the budget that's connected to it, because there are funding that is connected to the CEP in terms of how we're spending money for programs in our school building, and different types of events and things like that. So we will attach the link to the PDF for the CEP on our agenda page. So when we share it with our school community for tomorrow for our weekly, families will be able to review it and start thinking about what are some goals that we want to add to it for next year. Okay, can you go back to the agenda? Okay. Just to go over where we are in terms of the school year, it is April 10th. So we are officially 48 days away from the end of the school year. It went by very fast, but we have a lot of things going on as a school community. I am looking at the calendar. So if you see my head turn, we have a calendar in the office with all our upcoming events. So I want to make sure that I mention all of them. So we are currently prepping for our state testing. Our state testing is in about 5 days. We have 5 school days until our state test. Our students will start taking the state assessment on April 23rd. It is computer-based, and grades 3, 4, 5 will be taking the state test online. What's great about the things that we've put in place here at Ellington Magnet, we started using LinkedIn. Your child may have come home and said, oh, I did my assignment on LinkedIn today. It is a program that we purchase. For the student aspect of it, they're able to engage with online learning, which mirrors the platform that the state tests is on. So they're building that comfortability with using that online platform for writing, reading, and for math, and science for my 5th graders. So those are things that we embedded this school year to better support our students as they are preparing for the state testing. It is rotated, so 4th grade will be taking their ELA test on April 23rd and April 24th. And then my 3rd grade students will be taking it on April 28th and 29th. 5th grade will be taking their ELA test April 30th and May 1st. Then we shift into math, and math, our 4th graders take our math test May 6th and May 7th. 5th graders take it May 8th and May 9th. And 3rd graders are taking it May 12th and May 13th, and May 14th, 5th graders are taking a science test. So we have scheduled specific days for kids to take testing, but we are in the testing window. So what that means is if your child is absent during any of those days, they can make up the tests from April 23rd now to May 23rd. The state yesterday has extended the testing window because some schools have already started taking their tests, because the testing window for New York State opened up on Monday, April 7th, and they have had some hiccups with the system. So New York State has extended testing until May 23rd. That should not impact our days because we are starting on April 23rd. But if we get guidance that we have to shift our testing days because of that, we will keep our families updated. And the best way to get that information is through our community weekly. So those are the dates, but like I said, the testing window is from April 23rd for us until May 23rd. So if your child is absent during their grade testing day, they're still going to take it within that window. During that time, the NICETEL test is also happening for our ENL students. So that is a test in which Ms. Manzik and Ms. Shrub, our ENL teachers, conduct, in which students have a speaking portion, they have a listening portion, and a reading and writing portion. So we are right into our testing window, and their testing starts on April 21st and it ends on May 23rd. So we are right into testing. We do have some upcoming trips planned as well. So on April 29th, our K-2 students are going to the Hall of Science. As a reminder, we do have our trip policy that we share with our families through our community weekly. We do look at safety. Safety is our #1 priority here at Ellington Magnet. So if we're taking students out of the building, we want to ensure that safety is our #1 priority. I know families have inquired about chaperones. But based on our trip policy, chaperones are going to be Ellington Magnet staff members because we want to ensure that everyone is being safe. If anything changes, we will keep our families updated. So my K-2 families will receive more information about the Hall of Science trip when we return from break. My kindergarten and 5th grade will have their graduation pictures on May 1st, right? So May 1st will be our kindergarten and 5th grade graduation pictures. Then we go into May 6th, we have another K-2 Science Center trip. So what we try to do during testing season is the grades that are not testing, we try to give them opportunities to do outside of the building learning, so that our testing students can really focus and have a calm testing environment, because when our K-2 classes are transitioning or they're in their classes, we want to make sure it doesn't impact our 3 to 5 kids. May 8th, we have our in-person parent-teacher conferences, and that will be from 4:30 to 7:30. So it gives you an opportunity to come and have a last physical check-in with your child's teacher about their progress so far. So that will happen on Thursday, May 8th. In person from 4:30 to 7:30. That is our last parent-teacher conferences for this school year. And we will share more information, and teachers will share information about sign up as we get closer to that date. Our spring pictures for the whole building, K-5, will happen on May 14th. So remember, May 1st is only kindergarten and 5th grade graduation pictures, and then May 14th, everyone's taking a picture, including kindergarten and 5th grade, because it's different from their graduation picture. So I know that information is coming home. We are not collecting money for the pictures. Everything is through their website. So a code went home. We will also share the code in the weekly tomorrow, where you can order your child's photo online. K-2 has another trip on May 15th. They're going to the Botanical Gardens. Then we have a 3 to 4 trip coming up on May 21st, and they're going to the Hall of Science. So we do have a lot of our trips happening towards the end of the year, because our majority of testing will be completed. So our students get to engage in outside of the building learning, which they're very excited about. Our last day of after school is projected for May 22nd, but we're going to keep you updated on that date. Well, then we have our science fair coming up. That is May 28th. And I know Miss Raju, our science teacher, has been sending out communication in regards to the science fair. And then that will take us to June, and we have some upcoming events for June. I know we've had questions about the senior dues for kindergarten and for 5th grade. The dues do contribute to all of the end of the year activities specifically for those grades, including graduation and end of the year activity for our 5th grade students. And those are the updates for the upcoming events that we have, but our weekly is the best place to see the latest update, and we share those every Friday. So please ensure that your classroom teacher has your most updated email, because that's how we're communicating all of the information in regards to our upcoming events. Okay, so I know Miss Moore did not, I haven't seen her yet, so I'm going to ask Miss Jambowski to do the UFT update because we did flip-flop.
Good morning. The UFT update is very similar to last time. We're still the district or UFT is still pushing for our paras to get more money, as well as there is health insurance for our substitute teachers as well as our paras, which is a big change from before, which we're very happy about. There is still talks of a cell phone ban across schools that might start in the beginning of September, so the next school year. And of course, as the UFT is passing more information, we're going to be in communication with our admin to see how it's going to be taken over in our school. And that is all for the UFT updates.
Thank you, Ms. Dambowski. And just to keep going along, we did design our CEP Title I spending based on literacy and around creating our literacy night, because that was discussion with our families, with our teachers in regards to supporting students learning how to read and different strategies and techniques that they can use. So we used our Title I spending towards our literacy night. So we thank all our families for joining us for literacy night and engaging in some of those activities with your students and with your child's teacher. So that event has concluded, and we do have pictures and videos on our school social media. All right, do we have any questions or any last minute questions or concerns that we have to address? Please ensure that you do sign in for this meeting.
The only question that I have is regarding the parent surveys. Do we know like what the numbers are looking like right now as far as like the percentage of how many parents and staff have completed the surveys?
So I know they did extend the deadline originally.
Yes, so this Friday.
Yes. I do not know the numbers off the top of my head. But I know that we are encouraging everyone to complete it. I think Miss Principal Signal is on, so she can address the number.
Good morning, everyone. No, I won't be sharing a number because for one, the number is not accurate. So parents are still filling them out. Teachers have opportunity to fill them out. So when they share the final number, I'll connect it with anything that we're doing with our CEP, because that should be the discussion topics, and be able to share it with everyone.
Thank you, Principal Signal. So yes, we did discuss and we did go over our CEP earlier, and those information connects and we use that data for it. So at our next meeting, which will be an agenda item, we will share the portion of SLT in regards to this creating and writing the CEP together. So that will be a major focus of our next meeting. We did review our previous CEP and all of our priorities. We are going to attach it to the meeting minutes, so our families have an opportunity to review our current CEP and think about how we're going to adjust or modify any of the goals as we are thinking ahead for next school year. All right, so if there's no additional questions, we are going to adjourn for this meeting. Any last minute questions? Please ensure that you do sign in for your time, because we give the students their house points and they are in a tight competition right now. All right, so I want to thank everyone for joining us this morning. The recording will be posted on YouTube and shared tomorrow with any families that missed our SLT this morning. Thank you, everyone.